Hey guys, Mobile Gamers Unite. Beautiful day to wake up to a rainbow. SSRs came down. Pretty much what happened was I 5 and 6 starred a character, and then I got the little achievement accomplishment for it, and they gave me 15 tickets, and I just got bored and started throwing them, and wouldn't you know it, a rainbow came down. Now it would have been great if it was Leon, because I don't have him yet on this account, and Leon can just run with anybody because of chivalry, right? And I have Altemuller, so Leon can go with him as a strat master, which would be great. If I get any more resources, I'll probably still throw it on that banner to try to get a Leon, because that's a safe bet. We don't know what banners we're getting soon. But since I pulled my second Altemuller, I figured we would talk about Alt real quick. I've covered a lot of things about him because he's such a badass. But in this little episode, we're going to be talking about his other half. And by that, I mean Altemuller's baby mama, okay? Altemuller was a Basel, and I'm a little rough on the story, but I think part of the reason he would turn into a Basel was because he wanted to bring his dead girlfriend back. Something along those lines, and here she is, Miss Varna herself, okay? What's cool about Varna is she is definitely overlooked. Varna is one of the best AoE spammers in the game, and she's absolutely amazing for a budget team to clean out the goblin level. And the reason that is because if you just look at her actual skills, aim, when you use aim, it takes down the cooldown of your other abilities by 1, and then it lets you use one of them. So with this 1,000 arrows ability, she can spam the shit out of it, and it's a great AoE. It has, it has a dispel on it, but that's not really why we're looking at it. It's because you can spam this. You can spam this in the goblin level. So just like every other turn, she'll be throwing an AoE, and she pairs up with Egbert, and it's awesome. Also look at her talent. After taking an action, grants a buff on friendly units within 2 blocks. AoE skill damage increased by 14%. Last one turn. That's what you want to clear goblins out. Okay, so even on a turn where, and she can also throw mass attack, which can really help, because if you use her to throw mass attack up, say on Basel, and she's standing next to him and he gets 14% increased AoE damage, and then he throws Earthquake, they're all gonna die. And she's not only useful like that, like she can also stand next to Egbert and increase his AoE skill damage every turn. So just off of that, and let's see, mine is only she's a 4-star. So this 14%, it goes up to at least like 20%. But if she can add 20% more AoE damage, I mean, shit, that's like one of the princess's fusion powers. It adds 20% damage to your skills. I mean, she's doing that just by standing next to you. Alright, so this makes her one of the most viable goblin killers in the game. Her and Egbert. And if you have Basel, oh, you're all set. If you can use that Dark Reincarnation fusion, just throw it up there. Any fusion that applies to her, even Empire, just anything to boost her stats, okay? Because that's the only problem with this girl. Alright? She doesn't hit very hard, and that's what you need to work around, okay? You have to build her just for attack. This one's not really a great example. I haven't really started working on her yet, but I will be, because on this alt account I have Basel, I have her, and I have Egghead. So the 3 of them are, that's what's going to be clearing the goblin level for me. And I have some less Legends characters, so Rachel can go in there and she can throw her AoE. I would put like some clock gear on her so that she has a chance of spamming her AoE. But in order for Varna to actually be effective, we have to go into her bonds, and this is really important. For her, if you're bonding her out to have her in Guild Wars, you know, great. Put whatever bonds you can on her. Everything will help. But as far as clearing the Goblin stage, you only need the Hero Bond Light. Okay, because it doesn't matter what her little soldiers, it doesn't matter what their stats are. They're not going to help you clear goblins. What you want is for her attack to be high so that when she does her AoE, it hits more. And you want it to hit for enough to take lower goblins out and to at least do decent damage to, you know, the red goblins. So you want to bond this all the way till level 10. Now this is for the goblin level, okay? Other than that, you just want her stats, not her troops, but her stats as high as possible so she can one-shot as many of those goblins as she can. She's going to be throwing her AoE ability all the time because of aim, and she's going to be increasing the AoE damage of Basil, Egbert, anybody that's going to be throwing AoEs. And typically when you go into the goblin level, that's what you want. You want a bunch of AoEs. Some people don't even bring Basil's fusion power. They instead bring Black Hole and Earthquake. And then they have like a Sophia with Rewind. So this works though, even if you don't have a Basil for the fusion power. Say you have Lance. Lance has the Empire fusion power. Lance is acceptable to run in a goblin stage if you have to, because he does have an AoE attack. And surprisingly, he can hit for a couple thousand with it to everybody around him. So you can use Lance to throw up the Empire buff, which will increase her stats, so she's more likely to one-shot some goblins. And then when she stands next to Lance, his AoE skill damage increases. Now, when we're talking about AoE, that includes like his physical attack. That's an AoE that hits everybody around him. So she's going to increase Lance's damage by 14 or 20% wherever you got her talent anyway. Okay, it's non-discriminatory. It's not just AoE magic. It's anything that's AoE is going to have its damage increase just from her standing around them. So even if you don't have Basil, you probably have Lance. And you can run Lance with his fusion and her. Maybe you got Egbert. You can throw him in there for some AoEs. So a lot of this just has to do with making a goblin slaying party on a budget, okay? Obviously, if you have Basil, that's a great start. But if you don't have Basil, you can still piece together some of these SR characters. And if you just invest into them properly and build them right, they can be very effective in the goblin level. Okay? So that is Altemuller's wife. And as it stands right now, that's one of her best purposes in this game. She's also awesome for Guild War. And I think she gets some good soldiers. Let's see, what does she get? I don't want to be misquoted here. Okay, so yeah, she can run the Dark Guard. That's usually what I have her do, is run the Dark Guard. She runs around just shooting people, and then when enemies attack her and actually get her into hand-to-hand combat, they have to deal with the Dark Guard. Okay. Also, she's a great candidate for the, I know it's not called the Miracle Bow or the Auto Bow, but it's a bow that gets rid of the damage penalty that range units get when they're in hand-to-hand combat. So it's a great item to put on her, and that way when somebody gets her into hand-to-hand combat, she's still doing just as much damage as she would be shooting at them from a distance. Okay, but she also gets Demon Hunters, you know, Griffin Knights, so there's a lot of good stuff here. Vampire Bats, if you want her to, you know, be able to steal some health back. So that's Varna. This is Altemuller's dead ex-girlfriend. I don't know. All I know is Altemuller lost his marbles because something happened to Varna, and it led him down the path to become Basel, which was really cool to find out. So that's where we're at. I just wanted to make a quick video about Varna and how she can be useful. If you're just starting out and you need somebody to clear the little goblins for you, Varna works good. Where's Lance? And Lance does work because I've had to use him on this account when I first started running the goblin level. This Wind Whisper, this is an AoE, so of course, like I said, Varna's talent would stack onto this damage. But that's about all Lance can do. Okay, he's gonna throw this AoE once every couple turns and hit everybody around him, hopefully for good damage. And you know, he's just gonna attack single target after that. So, but between Lance, Varna, and like Egbert, these are all very obtainable characters. They're not hard to get. You're gonna be able to get them. Now, if you got Basel, it's the cherry on top of the cupcake. You're just gonna be crushing the little goblin levels. But even without Basel, everybody has Lance. Everybody's gonna have everybody.